So I have just finished watching in real time the conclusion of this trial for Amber Guyger, and just have a few things to say, clarify, analyze. It's not so much analysis. First thing, and I didn't script this. I just wrote some bullet points of things, and I shall flesh them out as I go. Yeah. Number one, peace to Botham Jean's mother. I watched her testimony, and the only thing that I could think of was how long, and I wrote this on Facebook, how long she lasted before she finally started to cry about when she was talking about her son. As I said, she is superior to me. I would not have lasted that long if the same thing had happened to a child, assuming I have one. I would not have lasted that long. So peace be to his mother for being able to do that, and peace be unto her, at the risk of sounding Muslim as though I'm not. Peace be unto her and her family now, forever into the future. There's not much else I could say about that, but it's nice to. I wish I'd seen under different circumstances what a strong woman looks like. I saw that there with her. I don't know how that strength comes about, but she obviously has it, and hopefully it carries her on from today. Next is, and we should all know this, be careful what you say in text. Honestly, in voice as well. People think that voice you're safe. You're not safe in voice. Anybody who's a computer nerd like me should know you are not safe. You're not safe with voice. Just because it goes away instantly the moment you stop talking and the moment you hang up doesn't mean that you're safe. Be careful in text, voice, and social media. I have Twitter, I have Facebook, and I have YouTube, and that's all I have. My MySpace has long since gone, if anybody even remembers MySpace. And I have nothing else. The only reason that I even have this YouTube channel is quite honestly because I get a check from them once a blue moon. I don't know why I even bothered to keep Twitter, and as far as Facebook goes, yeah. Be careful what you say. I shall now reference what my lawyer told me one time, is that the government, especially the legal part of the government, it moves, he said it moves slowly and grinds finely. And you see that in this Amber Guyger case, where they found everything. You thought you deleted those texts. They found everything. The texts are deleted from your phone. They're not deleted from T-Mobile, Sprint, soon to be T-Mobile, as I've just not too long ago found out that they've been bought by them. Sprint, soon to be T-Mobile, AT&T, Verizon. Your voice, your text, they're all still on their servers, and they're on at least 5 different servers. Don't think if they're on 5 different servers. Be careful what you say. As far as the conclusion of this, let's be honest, was a joke. An absolute joke. better than her getting off, I suppose. And I sat there and I listened to, who was it, WFAA or whoever it was. And they were talking, and he said that the worst possible thing would be if they couldn't come back with a conclusion, because then the whole entire trial starts over. She's once again presumed innocent. They'd have to do the whole thing over. So I suppose it's better than nothing, but do understand the reason why this happened. They want, if she had gotten off the way most, if not all of most other cops get off for doing stuff like this, especially the black people, especially black men specifically, that would have put all police in this entire country, even in Hawaii and perhaps even in Puerto Rico as well, all police in all the territories, all police would have been in danger at that point. All of them. Each and every single one. You saw how bad it was when one man, just one man, whatever the hell his name was, not Malvo, Muhammad, or whatever his last name was, crippled DC. Just one man with a sniper rifle. And his kid, which apparently didn't really do much. Maybe he was moral support. You saw how that happened. Had she gotten off scot-free with this? There's certain people in the black community that think that there's a race war, that where it's coming / is here. There's also people in the white community that believe that a race war is coming. It would have been right here in a snap had she gotten off. That's one of the reasons why they made sure to give her a conviction. And, well, the hairbrush, and keep that in mind for later, the hairbrush sentence, if you will, of 10 years. Which leads into the next thing. She was expendable. She's an expendable pawn. Amber Guyger is of no consequence. She was an expendable pawn, a replaceable part, if you will, a replaceable cog in the wheel, a replaceable cog in the machine. She is of no consequence, of no use. This imbecile, and let's be honest, she was an imbecile considering, you saw the text messages, you saw how she just completely destroyed he destroyed his own life too, but his family, of whichever that Hispanic cop was, keep Hispanic in mind for later as well, yeah, so she knew he was married. And it took her over a year to realize, what she was doing was so wrong. Does that say anything to her judgment? Okay. Pawn. Expendable pawn. The system, this white supremacist based system, they can afford to throw out someone that is not exactly the brightest star in the sky. So, don't think that this is some great blow to police or great blow to white supremacy or a great blow to anything, especially considering that sentence. Had she gotten the full 99 years, then I would be saying something quite different. Which now leads into, well, it's almost 10 minutes, so I'd say the second half of this video, second part of this video, more actionable steps on behalf of black people. And I do mean black people. You'll see why I say that in a second. I'm not going to be differentiating. You'll see why I say that in a second. So, two-pronged attack. Internal, the system. We, black people now, we need to get our people in there. Into the system, into the annals of national, state, and local government. We need to get them in there, and let's just say we need to hold them accountable. Find a way to do that. I forgot his name. Some guy here on YouTube. let's just say he's a white guy that gives the world um, a bit of a look on how, I wouldn't say rural whites, but perhaps middle America might think about things, especially maybe rural white middle America. He he has some knowledge of it, and one thing that I heard from him that it stuck with me the entire time. He said that in some of these small white towns, these small rural white towns, they won't have shit like this going on. They won't. Why? Because all the people that they put in there, they vote them in, and they will be held accountable. And he said one thing, and I now thinking back to Malcolm X, it's quite similar. Interesting. Malcolm X said by the ballot or the bullet, right? What this guy had said is by the ballot box or the cartridge box, you will be held accountable. And apparently this seems to be a theme, a theme in especially small white towns where you're not going to get out of line, sheriff, judge. You're going to toe the line. We need to adopt that. We need to get our own people in there, into the judges, into the national, state, and local, and we need to find some way of keeping them, holding them accountable. You need to know where they live, perhaps know where their husband or wife or kids go to school. However, we can get that done. That is internal, inside the system. Now we deal with external. These are all actionable steps here. External is quite simple, and of course, one Dave Chappelle let us know. Go on ahead and arm yourselves. Go on ahead and arm yourselves. I have started the process of this. I have gotten the information. I actually have all of the forms filled out. Comes payday, I will have the $100 for it to start the classes. I don't know if I'm going to just go for this, or maybe I go for concealed carry, maybe open carry. Maryland. But black people get armed. See, it's my belief that there is no, and this is also one of the bullet points, there's no need for cops. There really isn't. It is my honest belief that if we had open carry, I wouldn't even say mandatory, but just open carry, just open carry, no permits, no nothing, just everybody by the moment you turn 18, you have to go take whatever classes, get your training, obviously training is of course. And by the age of 18 or 18 and a half, you need to own your own firearm. Not some crazy stuff, not some Uzi, not some howitzer, not some M16, AK or whatever the hell. You need to own something. Some sort of pistol or something to that effect. That is my honest belief. If you had 100% of people walking around here all armed, every single time they go out their house, they're armed with at least one gun, at least one. We all supposedly don't like crime. Something tells me crime would go down to zero. There's this movie Joker that either is coming out or will come out soon, or probably has come out by now. I don't keep up with media, with what comes out of Hollywood. And people are quite scared. Apparently, people are quite scared. There is going to be increased police presence for this one movie. This one movie that seems to apparently resonate with the downtrodden, the disenfranchised, for lack of a better word, the believed, self-believed disenfranchised white males specifically. And let's just say various entities are kind of and as such, there's going to be heightened security for this movie. There's going to be police presence in plainclothes cops. ODs, I believe it is, off-duty cops from my mall cop days. Yeah, it's if everyone is armed from 18 on, we wouldn't have this problem. You really wouldn't. But of course that can't happen now. Of course, people are going to have whatever beliefs they want and thoughts and perceptions and whatnot. Black people, on the other hand, we can get armed. And we should. And at this point, I really don't see how we won't. I don't really see what else needs to happen. I really don't. Arm ourselves. So that's that. Which then comes to the next actionable step. As far as your home, this happened in Botham Jean's home. She bust in under whatever belief she supposedly had. Anybody can say anything. Gunned him down while he was relaxing in his own house. The one place on planet Earth where apparently you're supposed to be safe. One is to be safe in his own castle. His or her own castle. Abode, whatever. Somebody busts in. Someone. I don't care if you have a badge. I don't care if you're the King of England, Queen of England, some royalty of some country, the president, whoever that may be when you see this. Someone, a mortal human, came into your house without your permission. Came in, to say it lightly. Armed. Killed you. Okay. There's to be cameras in your house, black people. There are to be cameras monitoring the perimeter and possibly even some on the inside. Maybe not everywhere. Maybe just in the entrances, perhaps. Okay. Black people, you are to have cam. Now, of course, all these things that I'm recommending, I am slowly building towards it. Okay? Slowly building towards it. You remember from my Uber videos, my Uber days, how I advocated having cameras in your car. Right. Cameras in your house. You are also, again, as you said, to have a firearm. And that firearm is supposed to be with you at all times when each and every time you are answering the door. I don't care if you're getting pizza, if the Chinese delivery came, whatever. The mailman, UPS, what can Brown do for you? They can drop your damn package off and get the fuck out of there. That's what they can do. I don't care who it is. Get your firearm and answer it. Answer the door, assuming you even feel like answering your own door, with firearm in hand. Also, if you do not have a door with a, I believe it's called a peephole that you can see who's there. Of course, they have door handles now that are Z-Wave. So you have cameras there, you can see who's who and what's what. Get one. If you rent, go build a door. Go get the door or whatever from Home Depot, Lowe's, drill it out, look at the hinges. You can just lift up the hinges, replace the door. When you move out, put the door back. Do whatever. I don't think I need to tell you why excuses is not going to work. Do what you need to do. Okay. And of course, this last part now. This last part. Cops are not your friends. Forget that I will have linked a two-part video of a lawyer telling you do not talk to police, and I believe that's what it's called, do not talk to police. Again, I'll have it linked. I'll have a lot of stuff linked. Cops are not your friends. Quite simply because, unless they are your family member, direct blood family member, you do not know who is who and what's what. This is one that got outed. If you think she's obviously not the only one, that Hispanic cop, he's one too. Which now leads actually into a little side note. Remember how I said about Hispanics, keep them in mind for later? Black people, the reason why I keep this video and I keep saying black, I don't say black and brown or anything or people of color, no. I sure as hell do not say minority. White women are a minority. A minority killed this black man, okay? A conservative white Christian male with one ball hanging longer than the other is a minority. Or a peg leg, or one eye red, one eye blue, whatever. Redheads are a minority. Right? I didn't say people of color. I didn't say minority. It was two minorities. One minority killed him, and then she was banging another minority who also had a bit of white supremacist beliefs of his own, which now leads me to tell you, these Hispanics, a lot of these Hispanics, especially the ones that have the more European base, i.e. the light-skinned ones, not the ones that have the more indigenous base, the dark-skinned ones, they are just as much white supremacists as the whites. White. There's the whites that we all know. There's the honorary whites. That's right, you Asians. You all have your mentalities too, especially when it comes to black people. And then there are the off-whites, what I call the off-whites. You heard that here first. The off-whites, these Hispanics, right? Obviously, we have to speak as a whole. I can't sit here and list out each and every single name of each and every single Hispanic that is one versus the ones that are not. We have to speak as in a whole, as a group. And the few that aren't, fine. Put your name in the comment section, and any future diatribes, I will make sure to single you out as supposedly by your claim, not like the rest, okay? Not your friends. They are not your friends. But what about our own black people? They too are not your friends. Case in point, what in the hell was that one imbecilic cop doing? That black, overweight, female cop doing after Amber Guyger got sentenced, or convicted rather, and she is there trying to, console her, stroking her hair, patting her, what? All of this was after those text messages came out, after the Pinterest post came out, right? And this black female cop, cops are not your friends. They are not. While they are a cop, they are not your friends. While they are, in fact, an arm, a entity, a satellite of the state, they're not. When those powers are given up, when, I don't know, they're off duty or something, okay, you might play basketball, or maybe go grab a beer, or meet them at the gym or something. Maybe they help spot you on that heavy when you go for that PR, whatever. I'd rather keep my distance even then. as your guards are probably lowered while they're off duty, and you think, oh, well, they're cool too. No. But certainly while they're suited up, they are not your friends. Just because they're black doesn't mean they are your friends. As case in point with this one, who despite the fact that Amber said, literally it got found out, she didn't even have to say it, it was said. It was found out that she said she does not like black people. She does not like black people, yet here it is. It's not any of the white cops, none of the white male cops, maybe not even a white female cop, a black female cop that is there trying to console her after she got convicted of murder. Which now leads to another bit. Cops are not your friends. Purge. Yes, I said purge. There's a reason why I use that word now that I think about it. There's a reason why I use that word. Purge. Purge the cancers from inside. This is strictly to the black community. And I'm going to have to say it here and say black community. And remember the other time earlier when I said keep that in mind for later? Yeah. Here it is now. We're going to have to purge the undesirables from the black community. One is that female cop, that black female cop that was, in fact, trying to comfort and console, as far as I'm concerned, the enemy. Flat out enemy. But then we're going to have to really sit down and figure out who the hell is who and what the hell is what. Because let's be honest here. When it comes down to it, Botham Jean, his family, him and his family, they're not black Americans. And I think when I say black Americans, you see where I'm going with this foolishness, right? That's been output as of late. He wasn't black American. And I'm not going to make any bones about this. He was not ADOS. He was not FBA, FDA, whatever the fuck, foundational, whatever the hell. Even though the people that actually made the foundation, the black people that made the foundation are long dead. He was not any of that. Where is he from? He's from the fucking Caribbean, just like me. Not ADOS, not the B1 or FB or whatever the hell other foolishness is being output. And I think you all know who the fuck I'm going at with this. And it's more than one of them too. It was not him. Wasn't him. He wasn't any of that stuff. Yet this trial, more than probably any other trial that I can think of, even more than Rodney King or anything, this trial set a precedent for a lot of stuff. From somebody who was not ADOS, not B1, not FBA, or whatever the fuck you all come up with. We are all supposedly one big nigger according to white supremacy, so I suggest we all start acting like that rather than splintering ourselves into these fucking groups. It's amazing how when reparations comes around and all of a sudden there might be a fucking check about to come up, maybe, talks of a check, all of a sudden, oh, well, we're B1 camp, well, we're FDA or FBA camp, well, we're ADOS camp and all this crap. Meanwhile, this thing happened to a Caribbean. Right next door to Jamaica, my hometown, my home country. And yet this thing was about to affect it. Could you imagine what the fuck would have happened if this bitch got off? Would you be sitting here saying, oh, well, hell, that didn't happen to B1, or that didn't happen to FBA, or that didn't happen to ADOS? No. Really need to purge the cancers. Really need to purge the cancers. This shit still affects you no matter what the hell bullshit fucking letters you want to go and claim like you're fucking LGBT, whatever fucking letters you want to claim, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 letters, go ahead. If your ass is black, this shit still affects you. This bitch got... Hell, is she even going to do the whole 10 years? It is now. Wednesday, October 2nd, 2019 at 6:09 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So then, am I to understand that whatever day, October 2nd, 2029, is when this bitch is finally going to be able to walk out? She's not going to get out at any time before that? My only hope now is that the people on the inside do what the people on the outside chose not to do. I'd like to see the makeup, racial and gender makeup, male, female gender. I'm not playing that game. Makeup of that jury. I'd like to see that. But hopefully now, the people on the inside catch Amber slipping, if you know what I mean. Right? But am I to understand, let's say she doesn't get got, if I may be so bold. Am I to understand that in 2029, she's going to be walking out and she's not going to walk out earlier? I don't think so. I don't think so. This was a slap on the wrist. There are people in jail for doing less shit, more time for less stuff, mainly drugs. Didn't kill anybody. Probably didn't even hurt anyone. Just drugs. Drugs. This bitch gets 10 years. Could you imagine what would happen if... it's fine. Forget a black cop. A white cop. If a white cop went into another white man's home and did some stuff like that. White male cop. We won't even say female cop unless, oh my God, well, it's a woman, so let's... No. White male cop went into another man's home, white man's home, and did that. He would have to, even though death penalty is off the table because it's not capital murder, if they didn't give that cop the death penalty, white America, be they rural whites who have nothing to lose and have the guns, or rich whites who can buy the entire fucking precinct into sexual slavery, they wouldn't put up with it. That cop would be made a fucking example of, simple ass end of him and his family. He would not be getting 10 years. All right. So, after having purged the undesirables in all their forms, both external and internal, the last thing is, for those of you who apparently cling to the cops, oh my God, we gotta have some form or fashion of something. Okay, well, what do the Jews and Muslims, I believe this is Jews and or Muslims, I believe this is in New York, somewhere. I believe this is in New York. What do they do? It appears that, I believe, again, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it is in New York. Either the Jews or the Muslims, perhaps even both. They have a buffer between the Jewish/Muslim people and the police. They have their own people, made up of people from the community, that act as direct police before actual police come in. These people walk around, they patrol, they look like they're in cop cars. They actually are cop cars. Well, the same kind of car. What is it? Taurus, SHO, and all that business. Charger, whatever. They have those cars done up. And they patrol their communities. And the cops deal with them. These people, the people in those communities, call them first. And then those... intermediaries, if you want to call it, they deal with the cops, or at the very least, they are there on site with the cops, most if not all times. I really need to find out where that. I'm sure that was New York. I'm pretty sure that was New York. Any New Yorkers who happen to pass by, feel free to comment yay or nay as to that's the case. But I saw a documentary on that. Probably about a couple months ago, actually. Right? What exactly is stopping black people from having the exact same thing? And that's it. And I shall end this video once again saying peace, infinite peace to Botham Jean, to his mother, to his family. Infinite peace to his father as well. I am not Muslim, but infinite peace be upon them. And that's it. Not good. Not good. So, if you've gotten to this part, you have, I'm assuming, watched everything before this, and I thought that was it. I was about to upload it. You see my logo here. Just about to upload it, and as soon as I was about to click the upload, I see this in the bottom left corner of my screen. And I'm just thinking to myself, sweet motherfucker, how the hell did they manage to... Okay. I click on that and I see this video in the sidebar. What is the sidebar as of right now? Who knows what it's going to look like in the future when you see this. Okay. This one is from October 1st, 2019. This one is from October 2nd, 2019. And I'm going to play them both. At first, I thought I couldn't because I have a Logitech Z5500, and due to a design defect in the control pod, this thing, for the third time since I've had it for years now, has burnt out. Anybody with this thing, they know what I'm talking about. If it hasn't happened to you yet, it will. And so I have a 5.1 speaker setup that is essentially dead right now. The only way I'm able to listen to audio is through these. So I thought that I wasn't going to be able to play it and dissect these, but apparently due to this Logitech capture, I am actually able to talk here, and then when this thing is playing, it apparently mutes me and then plays the audio from them, as I found out later on. So I am going to actually, so that I can hear it, I'm going to have these on. I'm going to dissect out what each of these two people... First of all, let me just get into this guy. He is from the Caribbean, St. Lucia, I believe it is. As a Caribbean boy myself, I am very well aware. Oh, nearly came out. I am very well aware of this face. This is a face of someone that has been thoroughly indoctrinated in Christianity, the kind of Christianity that keeps black people down, the kind of Christianity that's never used against white people, or anybody else for that matter, but is used on black people. And the reason why I know this is because I too have gone through this. I too have gone through the indoctrination that only, and I do mean only, it's not possible in black America or Africa or anywhere else. It's for some odd reason, it's just some urban spice of it that is only possible in the Caribbean. I don't know why. And he has this on his face. And I'd faintly be able to tell if he hadn't gotten rid of these glasses and gotten some contacts. I would have still been able to tell, just not as well. I too have faced this indoctrination. St. Lucia is not that far from Jamaica, right? Next door neighbors, all in the Caribbean, right? And I remember as a 4-year-old, 3-year-old, 4 going on 5? how we would have rank and file, or not even rank and file, but row and column, much like in the military when they're doing performances or something, or demonstrations, or better yet, the old karate or kung fu movies where in an open courtyard and in row and column everybody's there doing moves and all of that, right? The only, of course, we were sitting, of course, right? And we were being drilled the entire summer for 8 hours a day, unless somebody messed up and then it became 10 hours a day. 8 hours a day. I'm sorry. Yeah, 10 to 12, depending on if the teacher was bad or not, or an ass, a bitch, right? But minimum 8 hours a day, 5 days a week during the summer, drilling Bible verses, reading scriptures, prayer, studies, but those scriptures. It's not until just recently that that I'm not able to recite every single book in order of the Bible from Genesis to Revelation. I used to be able to do that up until maybe about 5 years ago. Yeah, it's about 5 years now. So I know this face. This gets used against black people way too much. And again, for all the Christian that you want to be Christian, Korean Christian church, Chinese Christian church, Jews for Jesus, whatever, Muslims for Jesus, I don't know, shit, atheists for Jesus. Nobody gets Christianity used against them more than black people, and this face proves it. Now, let's get started on this. I'm going to have this on because, again, I don't have sound.
Being willing to make that tough decision. I want to say thank you to the prosecutors for the excellent job that they did. And now we're just going to move forward and continue to respond in the appropriate way going forward. But we just want to say, and the other thing that I want to say is that this also lets us know that the God that we serve is still on the throne.
That's right.
Despite being Christian myself, I'd prefer to have not. Yes, thank God. Yes, we thank God. Okay, fine. But all of this sounding Baptistish, I could have done without it for reasons I think any black person who gets what I'm saying would know. If you don't understand, don't worry about it. I'll say right now, black people, and I'm going to say this again later, black people need to be more encrypted in their talk, encrypted in their actions, encrypted in their modus operandi, if you will. I could have done without this. And anybody who knows why I say this, fine. For all of you who don't, we don't.
God is still in control.
Amen.
And he has been all along. I have some other of my...
I was about to say something here, but this is after the fact. This was before she got the 10-year sentence, so it is not their fault that they're saying all of this. I can almost guarantee they're not saying this now, after she got her tisk, 10 years.
Associates with me, Jonathan Morrison, and also Colin Packer. I'd like for them to have comments.
Okay. What we're going to do at this time is we're going to take a few questions and we're going to take the family back up.
There's so much talk to see. 5 to 99 years. What do you think Amber Guyger deserves?
The 99 years, without possibility of parole, but that's just me. Do I have my? I don't have my drink here. I'll go have a drink.
Believe in the wisdom of this jury. That decision is in the hands of this jury, and so we believe that Botham's life mattered, and we want to see a sentence that reflects that.
Yeah, and many people, a lot of commentators said there would be no murder conviction.
Right.
So right now we're already ahead of the game.
I'm not surprised that they say that, and not surprised, but
welcome the jury's decision, as Attorney Merritt and Attorney Washington have said.
Steve.
What we do know, though, is that Amber Guyger got on the stand and she testified without a doubt that she intended to kill Botham. And we just hope that the jury remembers that this is an individual that says she didn't make a mistake. She intended to kill, and we think that the sentence that they give her should reflect that.
You all know what? Imagine what the sentence would be if the roles were reversed and Botham Jean killed Amber Guyger. Why can't it be equal justice in America,
That's right.
no matter what the ethnicity of the murderer is?
Because white supremacy, that's why. That is the reason why, of course, again, I must say, they don't know yet what she's going to get. Obviously, we know now. But to answer your question, sir, that's the reason why. Because white supremacy. Had it been an all-black jury, the way we had all these all-white juries in the past, you would have seen justice. But that's just me.
And 2 days after she killed Botham, she was back sexting and talking about getting drunk. So this is a person that has no remorse. This is a person being in jail for 5 to 6 years will not be enough.
Right. 10 years won't be enough either. Now, I don't know who got to this dude as to why nobody got to him after, but considering what he just said, what the fuck is he gonna do? Don't tell me that he thinks that Amber is hot. Okay. Don't tell me, okay.
So we want the sentence to definitely reflect that.
Do you worry about an
What
appeal?
is your sense of hearing the concept of mistake of fact and castle doctrine?
What here?
Castle doctrine, yeah. I'll be looking into that myself. In this state of Maryland that I'm in, as well, I'll be looking into that castle doctrine for my own purposes.
Here's what we know, and I let Lee talk, but here's what we know. We did not think mistake of fact and the castle doctrine should have gotten in there, but what the family know today and what we feel comfortable about, there's really nothing that the defense is going to be able to appeal. They got everything that they wanted, so and they did not get the verdict that they wanted, so we feel good about that.
And I'll just reiterate that the mistake of fact, and particularly the castle doctrine, was asinine to go before this jury. They had no business asserting the castle doctrine in someone else's home. I'm glad that the jury simply rejected that, and we can move forward from there.
Were you surprised by, I'm sorry, Mr. Crump.
No, I was just going to say, when you think about the castle doctrine, it really reminds you a lot of stand your ground when you come up with an intellectual justification to justify the killing of an unarmed black person. Thank God the jury did not accept it.
Exactly.
And can you just give us a sense, were you surprised by this verdict?
No. If you sit number one, and I said if we were calling the game, if we were calling this like a game, the score was 92-0 the entire time. The only concern was that the jury instructions. It bothered me that those would go back, and in that case you could have a runaway jury in a sense that would go against the entire weight of the evidence. But when it's all said and done, you had someone who was completely unarmed, completely nonviolent, completely non-aggressive, sitting at his home, eating a bowl of ice cream, and someone barged into his home and shot him to death. And so when this family contacted us the day after this murder, we believed that the right conviction would happen. We believed that the right verdict would come out as guilty. We knew that in America that's rare. We knew we had a fight on our hands, but there were all the pieces in place. And I'll tell you what, this was a perfect storm of events. In terms of the justice system working together, you had a motivated district attorney's office who put on an excellent case. You had a progressive judge who made the right calls from the bench, and you had a Dallas County community that responded to the call to serve on these juries, as we need them to continue to do. So you had one of the most diverse juries that we ever seen.
That diverse jury foolishness. Yeah. That means nothing. First of all, I can understand why it is that Amber Guyger, number one, And then her in her defense, number one, wanted to move it out of Dallas because they wasn't going to get a fair trial. Okay, that didn't happen. Or Dallas County or whatever it is. And the reason why she went for, why she or they, her defense, her, went for this jury as opposed to just the judge. Had it been just the judge, even though I've been finding some stuff on this judge that is less than favorable, but had it been just the judge, she might not have gotten the whole 99, but she would have probably gotten more or less half of that at the very least, right? So she rolled the dice on this jury. Now, as far as this diverse jury, Asian, okay, so first of all, white people, okay? Not saying that all white people are white supremacists, but you are suspected until proven otherwise, right? And obviously, there are lots of whites that have proven otherwise. Asians are honorary whites. And most Asians don't make any bones about their feelings of superiority to a lot of people, especially blacks. Hispanics, and you heard this term here first, the off-whites. You heard it here first. Hispanics are known as off-whites are known to me as the off-whites. Okay, especially the ones that have the more European base. These are the light-skinned ones, or the ones that can pass for white. Not the more indigenous-based ones, the dark-skinned ones, right? Light-skinned and dark-skinned Hispanics, from Mexico straight through Central America, straight to South America, and then of course Brazil. That's something else. With the Portuguese, not Hispanic. I know. And don't give me Suriname and all them places, Guyana. Okay. They have their own thing with the lighter skins and the darker skins. All right, so I know what's going on there. Point is, this whole business of diverse, no. It's white supremacy. The few and far between that are not white supremacy, and then black. Most of the people on that jury, I'm not going to say they were white supremacists, but until proven otherwise, the guards are up. So this diverse jury business doesn't, I'm not falling for that at all. It's bad enough if it was an all-black jury. You got to wonder, how many coons are in that jury? How many of them got bribed under the table and are keeping it quiet long enough to get that money? So there's that. You have a hard enough time with an all-black jury. Anyhow, it's not all black. Anyway, moving right along.
Things work together. I was convicted. I was certain of a conviction in this case.
And let me say this. This Dallas County has a precedence unlike anybody else in America. Remember Jordan Edwards' case.
Right.
District Attorney Faith Johnson made sure that that young unarmed child's life was not in vain when they got a conviction there. And now to get a conviction here, hopefully all the rest of the cities all across the United States will learn from Dallas, Texas.
They will learn from Dallas, Texas once enough, as I said before, enough black people who are held accountable by any means necessary are in place. And for anybody who wants to come with the argument of, oh my God, if you have all this black people, if you have Wakanda, then how the hell, what guarantee do non-blacks have that they're going to be treated fairly? Well, my answer to you is, number one, what do you have to worry about? If you've treated us fairly this whole time, what do you have to worry about? That's the first thing. Second thing is, there has been no history of blacks in this country, and as far as I can tell, any other country, unfairly treating anybody else. Hell, Case in point, South Africa. You're on a black continent in a black country, but yet white people are doing infinitely well in a black country. When all of sub-Saharan Africa could just storm South Africa right now and remove what doesn't belong. One of these things is not like the other, if you know what I mean. But yet whites in South Africa survive and thrive, the vast majority of them. And the ones that supposedly don't, they can't blame black people because they're probably still doing better than the blacks in the shanty towns. So, yeah. Seems to me like other people, hey, Asians come into black communities and they're able to survive and thrive no matter what they do. Seems to me like other people are able to come into black world and be treated nice enough to not want to leave. To not just get up and leave. Asians have no problem coming into black communities and setting up shop and making money. White people have no problem going into a black fucking continent, setting up all kinds of shop, making money. Seems to me like if black people were really controlling things, everybody would be prospering. Moving right along.
That justice means equal justice.
And one final thing that we said it before, what Mike Rivera did by deleting those text messages, that is something that just cannot go away.
That's right.
Because that was clear tampering with evidence. And that's going to be something that we're going to follow up on, and we're going to make sure that the Dallas Police Department is following the proper procedures, because as a result of not following up on people like Mike Rivera, there's a mother that we talked to who Mike Rivera took her son's life that's still dealing with that from 2007. So we need to make sure that that's followed up on.
What
I won't even speculate as to whether that kid was black as well, but So you have one minority in female, white, Amber Guyger, banging another minority in Hispanic, white, Hispanic versus white, not Hispanic. Yeah, there's a reason why they're on those forms. Two minorities banging each other. Two minorities have something else in common. They both went and killed. Okay. Right. The off-whites, just because they're not fully white, doesn't mean they're to be trusted.
What this trial did was it pulled the veil back, and we saw the kind of things that lead to unfair acquittals of police officers. We saw a corrupt Dallas Police Department that actively engaged in covering for, excusing, and justifying the unjustifiable. And now that that veil has been pulled back, we've all seen it now, right. And we have an obligation on behalf of this family. We have each of us in this community has an obligation to go after the bad actors who tried to cover this murder up from the beginning. That's including her pardon Martin Rivera. That's including Mike Mata of the Dallas Police Officers Association. We call on Chief Hall to clean house because we're going to go about the business of cleaning house for her.
Right.
Right. And while you're there, I'm pretty sure the police unions probably had some angle in it. People seem to hate unions so much. Oh my God, unions are so bad. Unions are so bad. But nobody says anything about these police unions. I wonder why. Now, moving right along to this. After all of what we just saw here, this is bad.
If you truly are sorry, I know.
She is not truly sorry. 2 days after she killed your brother, she's trying to get fucked, she's trying to get dicked down, and she's trying to get pot pissed and drunk. She's not truly sorry.
I can speak for myself. I forgive you.
Blunder move. Blunder move. You just hung the queen. For anybody who knows that chess reference.
And I know if you go to God and ask him, he will forgive you.
like she even faced 99. Not like she even got life to where she's gonna die in jail. This bitch is gonna be out in probably 2 to 5 years. If you go to God. Oh, this is a special kind that only can be done in the Caribbean. Maybe it's the soil, maybe it's the air. I don't know. You know, the soil in Jamaica, certain soils there is the best on the planet for growing weed. Maybe it's the same. Maybe it's the best on the planet, not only for ganja but also for this level of Christian in
And I don't think anyone could say it. Again, I'm speaking for myself, not even bad for my family. But I love you just like anyone else. And I'm not gonna say I hope you rot and die just like my brother did, but I personally want the best for you.
I'm really starting to wonder. Was he set up to do this? Was he set up to do this? It seems like there's something that is trying to fight back and is losing. Something that is trying to fight him from saying what he's saying, and it's losing. I am wondering seriously, if he got set up to do this, or if he chose of his own freedom and free will to do this. Again, from one Caribbean boy to another, man, I can read your fucking face. I've gone through the same shit you went through as far as the indoctrination. I can read your face.
And I wasn't gonna ever say this in front of my family or anyone, but I don't even want you to go to jail.
Black people around the planet, if you want to continue to be a Christian, you're going to have to learn, like I had to learn, how to be what I have termed, you heard it here first, a practical, tactical Christian. Practical, tactical Christian. You can't go around giving away forgiveness like Halloween candy. There's a time and place for everything, if anybody knows that Bible verse. A time and place for everything under the sun. And in that same Bible verse, you will find it said that there is a time for peace and a time for war. The time for peace ended over a year ago. There is no more peace. For her anyway. And all of what you're saying right now, you didn't even want to say it in front of your family, which really kind of hints to me that your family did not put you up to this, you yourself, which makes me wonder what reasoning you have. We can sit here and say Christian all we want, but what, especially since there's something inside you fighting it as well. What reasoning you had to even come up here and say this? black people need to be more practical and more tactical with their Christianity if they're going to keep it. Or just give it up completely. I am not opposed to that at all. I'm no preacher here. I'm not trying to convert souls. I'm not trying to save souls. As far as I'm concerned, the word of Christ has already been spread, so all who are going to follow it are going to follow it. All who aren't. You know? I'm not trying to recruit or convert or save. Not saving hoes, not saving lives, not saving souls. No. So black people need to be a lot more practical and a lot more tactical if they're with their Christianity if they're going to keep it. And also, as said before, they need to encrypt everything from their mind, their thoughts, their actions. Everything needs to be encrypted, not clear text. Again, I am a computer nerd, so the computer-based references, IT-based references come out.
I want the best for you. Because I know that's exactly what Botham would want you to do. And the best would be give your life to Christ.
You're sitting here telling, effectively, at the very least, a demon, right? At the very least, a demon. If not the side piece of the devil, and I don't even mean the devil as in her partner, that Rivera idiot, but the side piece of the devil to give your life to Christ. Christ tried, okay? Jesus spent 3 days trying. He went straight to hell. Go to hell, Jesus. Went straight to hell, right? And spent 3 days trying. They had their shot. Those demons had their shot, my man. They had their shot. All who wanted to try again got their do-over. All the ones who said, no, I'm good, fuck them. Fuck them. You hear me? Give your life to Christ. She is a demon. There is no hope for her. Now is not the time for preaching. There's a time and place for everything under the sun. Now is not the time for preaching.
Don't say anything else. I think giving your life to Christ would be the best thing that both of them would want you to do. Again, I love you as a person. And I don't wish anything bad on you. I don't know if this is possible, but can I give her a hug, please? Please?
Please. Please.
Yes.
Whatever the hell she's saying to him right now. What? What is she saying right now, huh? What is she saying in his ear right now? Wait for me. 10 years I'll be out and I'll give you the best white pussy you ever had in your life. What? just caught something. All of this is fake, much like the tears that she gave before. All of this is fake, and watch for this. Watch. See that? That pat on her shoulder, like, all right, there you go, buddy. There you go. All right, there you go. Chin up now. Play it again.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Judge, you can shut the hell up too.
Have you been hurt in a car accident?
When you need a lawyer, you...
I do not endorse whoever the hell these guys are. I will say I will give him God's infinite mercy. Blessings of Christ, God's infinite mercy, and all that business. I will give this one the benefit of whatever 0.01% doubt that I have right now. 0.001% doubt I have right now. And say that he, not being a practical, tactical Christian, was misguided in trying to save the devil, or save at least a demon, where Jesus, Yeshu, whoever you want to call him, wasn't able to. Or, no, perhaps that no wasn't able to. They didn't want it. The demon didn't want to leave hell. The demon did not want to go to heaven. Much like she doesn't want your hug and your please, and your forgiveness. All right, buddy. All right. That's good. There you go. All right. This is the closest you've ever been to a white girl, huh? Yeah. Black people, you've got to stop. I'm going to end on that. Black people, you have got to stop. And that's it.